Holy crap, she got you good. Bow Wow, where's your protection? She has a freaking knife right behind her, girl. Hello, comrades. This is detectfanive, and today we are going to be watching the Apothecary Diaries, Season 1, Episode 11, Reducing 2 to 1. But before we do, let's talk about the previous episode, 10, Honey. Genshi, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was this close. But no, he flushed it down the toilet after that honey incident with Mao Mao. And I hope she gives Genshi and Gaoshun laxative pill in their food because that was horrible. But there's this story going around, rumor, about the servant committing suicide for poisoning Li Shu's food due to the fact that a duo could lose her position soon. Because the rare palace system is built for creating many babies. And because she is at the age where she can no longer give more babies to the emperor, she might have to step down. And as that is happening, we get to know more about who is involved with targeting Li Shu, because she's a very easy target at the moment because the emperor doesn't even visit her given to her age, which reasonable. So Fing Ming, the head of the lady in waiting for a duo, she seems nice until you realize her family is an apiary, which is the beekeeper. And then you realize that Li Shu is allergic to honey after the situation she had with Gyokyo's palace and getting all a bit worried about the honey. But yeah, so she says she's allergic to it. And then Mao Mao had to make sure before she made any accusation, because 17 years ago when the baby was born, the baby died after a year later. That was delivered by Luo Man. So Jinshi might be that child. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still convinced. I just think that it's not really mentioned because he's unable to heir a son after he becomes an emperor because he's unable to give birth or unable to have kids. I mean, he is a eunuch and he's undercover, so I don't know. That's what I think. But then Mao Mao's father was a former eunuch. Now that's interesting because that would mean if that was the case, he's unable to have kids. So who is her father? And is that her mother in the annex or someone else? Now I'm questioning a lot of things. So this is getting exciting because I want answers to my questions. Also, Feng Ming is also suspicious to me because her family runs an apiary, and I get the feeling that she was involved with Li Shu, like having the honey situation, and she's probably scared that Li Shu might refill something to a duo, and a duo will piece together that she was the reason that her child died because she respects the lady, because Feng Ming respects a duo, and a duo will probably figure out that the baby died due to the honey. But then again, it's just a theory. I don't know. But it's fun to think like this. So, yeah. But now on to the next episode so I can get answers to my questions. True, she's probably thinking of what her father did, but at the moment she's thinking of Feng Ming. Oh.
フォンミン様にお話ししたいことがあります。
わかったわ。
Be careful, girl. The servant died for a reason.
荷物が整理されている。ということはやっぱり いつ引っ越されるのですか？
Oh,
察
she's
しがいい
running.
のね。
大掃除は
Mhm.
表向きの理由ですね。新年の挨拶とともに新しい上級妃を迎えるために、アードー妃はもう子を産めないのですね。出産時に何があったのですか？
あなたには関係のない話じゃなくて。
関係ない話ではないです。
Ooh.
出産の場にいたのは私の父なので。不幸なのはその頃東宮妃だったアードー妃の出産が時の皇后の出産と時期が重なったことでしょうか。
Careful.
皇后と天秤にかけた結果、アードー妃の出産は後回しにされた。
Oh.
アード様。
その時ですね、アードー妃が子宮を失ったのは。
Okay.
その後、アードー妃のもとに生まれた子は幼くして亡くなってしまった。フォンミン様は責任を感じているのではないですか。当時出産後の体調が芳しくないアードー妃に代わって赤子のお世話をしていたのはあなたのはずです。
何もかも知ってるのね。アード様を助けることもできなかったヤブの娘なのに。
そうですね。赤子の死因はこの間の毒おしろい事件と同じだと思われていますが、それは違いますよね。
Oh.
あなたの言うそのヤブ医者はおしろいを使うのを禁じてたはずです。聡明なあなたがそれによって赤子を死なせることはない。本当の死因
Smart.
はこれです。花の中には毒のあるものも多い。トリカブトやレンゲツツジのようにその蜜にも毒性がある。
Wait a minute. If she's
でも
aware.
あなたは知らなかった。毒を含まないただの蜂蜜が需要にいいと与えていた薬が赤子にとって毒になること。
Can be harmful to the newborn baby. What?
いつもすまない、フォンミン。いいえ、アード様はお体を休めて。
そしてアードー妃の子は息絶える。死因は謎として、当時医官だった私の父ルオメンは出産時の処置も含度重なる失態により高級を追放されました。
Hmm.
それからあなたは偶然にもアードー妃の子の死因を知ることとなる。ある人物が蜂蜜は赤子にとっては毒になると教えたんですね。アードー妃だけには知られたくなかった。自分が唯一の子を殺した原因だと。だから消そうと考えた。この人物こ
Wait,
そが
so she only had one child.
リーシュ妃です。親元から離れた幼い娘ともう子供を持つことのできない女性。リーシュ妃の子孫が生まれていたかもしれない。そのうちあなたは
Oh.
リーシュ妃から赤子の頃に蜂蜜を食べて死にかけたと知らさ。
So she got
アードー
scared
妃にそれを聞かせないために
because
リ
they're
ーシュ妃を
so
ザクロ
close
級
to
から追い
each
返す
other.
ようになった。やがて先帝が崩御してリーシュ妃は追い返された理由もわからぬまま出家してしまう。フォンミン様は安堵されたでしょうね。しかし二度と会うことはないと思われたリーシュ妃は再び高級に現れる。同じ上級妃としてアードー妃を追いやる立場として、ずうずうしくもその子娘は母親を求めるように何度もアードー妃に会いに来ようとする。子を産めないアードー妃の立場を守るため、そして蜂蜜の件を隠すために。
Holy crap, she
Hoshii
got
mo
you
wa nai?
good.
そんな
Bow
ものはあ
Wow,
りませ
where's
ん。
your protection? She has a freaking
何で
knife
もいい
right
のね。
behind her, girl.
そんなの意味がないことをご自分で分かっているでしょう。
I mean, yeah, they will find out that you're the one who killed Mao Mao if you do try to kill her hair. Oh, Mao Mao, run.
ね
I don't think she cares.
え、あなたは一番大切な人の一番大切なものってわかる？
Lady
ア
Aduo
ード様
is
に初めてお会いした時から
someone
こ
important
の
to
方
her.
以外に仕えるべき人はいないと感じていたわ。
Where's the knife?
女でありながらしっかりした意志を持ち、東宮と同じ目線で話す。
Genshi,
ア
I
ード
said
様を心から尊
I
敬してい
hated
た。
you, but come
親の
save
言う
her,
ことを聞
please.
き
I beg
言
of
わ
you.
れる
We
がま
don't
まに
need
次女になっ
our
た
main
私と比
character
べて
dead.
どれほど衝撃を受けたことか。なのに私はアード様の一番大切なものをこの手で奪ってしまったのよ。 アドー様が玉のように大切にしてきた赤子をこの手で。あの時アドー様は私たちにこう言ったの。
皆が気に病む必要はない。子供は7つになるまでわからないものだ。少しの病気でコロリと死んでしまう。天の命に従ったのだ。
アードー様が毎夜泣き明かしていること私は知っていたのに。
この16年間、どのような思いで仕えていたのだろう。伴侶を持つこともなく、ひたすらアードー妃のために。わからない、私には。そこまで他人を大切に思える心がない。私の話を聞けば、人士様はフォンミンを必ず捕まえる。何があろうと、極刑は逃れられない。賢い彼女には、全てが分かっているはずだ。私に提案があります。私にできるのは、2つあった動機を1つにすることだけです。結果は変わりません。それでもよろしければ、受け入れてください。
There's a reason why Genshi lets her take care of it because he knows the situation.
疲れた。もしものために油紙を重ねて固定していたが、必要なくてよかった。切
Oh,
られたら痛いから
smart.
な。
So she knew that would
という
happen.
わけで、フォンミンが自首してきたのだが、何か知らないか？
何のことでしょ
ガオシュンに書き物を集めさせていたようだ
Oh,
な。
come on.
う。
She, I know you
何か
know
わか
about
る
the
かと思いました
situation.
が、無駄になってしまいました。この花、
さっき本ニャンが飾っていたぞ。
ええ、狂い咲きですね。
Hmm?
ん？
It's poison, my friend.
甘いな。
毒ですけどね。そんなことはないので大丈夫ですよ。あの時のフォンミンへの提案。リーシュ妃の毒殺、赤子の死の原因。
Hmm.
2つの動機を1つにすれば、赤子の死の原因をアードー妃に知られないようにすることはできる。
Oh, so she had to
自身の
admit
死は
her
免れな
faults
くても、
for
それ
trying
が
to hurt
何の権
Leishu.
力もない小娘にできる最大限だった。
But even Jinshi couldn't protect her. Oh? Oh? What is
眠
this?
れない。散歩でもするか。
Wait, they both knew. Holy crap. Because he only uses Mao Mao when he can't figure out a situation he doesn't want people to get killed for.
フォンミンの処刑は終わった。明日にはアードー妃が
What?
交を去るという。
Was executed? What do you mean was?
先客かい？この間、手伝いに来ていた次女だな。一杯付き合わないか？
お酒ありがとうございます。
男のようであろ？
そのように振る舞っているように見えます。
正直者だな。息子がこの手からいなくなってからずっと、私は妃ではなく、皇帝の友人だったんだ。いや、友人に戻った。お情けで飾りの妃をやっていただけ。早く誰かに受け渡したかった。どうしてすがりついていたのだろう。
きっとここにいたのが誰であっても、同じ話をしたのだろうな。
水の中は寒かっただろうな。苦しかっただろうな。
そうですね。
バカだよな。
そうかもしれません。
She
みんな
didn't.
バカだ。
Wait, it wasn't. No, she. What?
そうかもしれません。
This is so sad. Why am I watching this? This is too depressing.
やはりあの下女は自殺だったのだ。アードー妃はそれに気づいてい
Suicide,
た。
huh?
フォンミンは自殺に加担していたのかもしれない。アードー妃に嫌疑がかからぬようにと、冷たい水の中に沈んだ下女。知られたくない秘密を守り、自ら公主台に上がフォンミン。アードー妃の意志にかかわらず、彼女のために命を懸ける者たちがいる。
何をしている？
うわ誰だよいきなり。
悪かった。
Oh.
人士様、なぜここに？すみません。 今時も話してください。
寒いからやだ。
上着もなしでは風邪をひきますから部屋に戻ってください。
Yeah.
お酒を飲んでいるのですか？
I knew it. He's
付き合い
drunk.
だ。仕方ない。
付き合いね。
Ugh.
戻ってきたと思ったら、すっきりしたから帰れと追い出された。
このお方をそんな風に扱える人間がこの高級にもいるのだな。人士様。
もう少しだけだ。少しだけ温めてくれ。
二人とも二日酔いの心配はなさそうだな。アード王妃は高級を出るため祝妃の証である冠を返す。あの冠はしばらくの後入内してくる娘に渡されることが決まっている。おあ、そうか。
Are
誰
they
かに似てい
siblings?
ると思ったが人士様のことだったようだ。
That has to be his mom.
あの二人服装を入れ替えた方がよっぽど。入れ替える？いなくなってから？死んでからではなく、
Died.
まるでまだ生きているようにも捉えられる言い方だ。同時に生まれたアード王妃の子供と
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
二人がもし取り替えられていたとした。出産の際にアード王妃は身に染みて分かっただろう。
何をする。まだアール王様が。皇后様が優先だ。
所詮は乳母の娘、地兄弟である妃に過ぎない自分のもとより当時の皇后のもとに生まれた赤子の方が庇護を受けるということを何が正しいのか判断などできなかったかもしれない。だがその結
Oh.
果、己の息子が助かったのであれば、それはアード王妃の本望だっただろう。はあ、実にくだらないバカバカしいくらいの妄想だ。
I don't think so. Let her
相変わらず
be.
ですな。
She wants to say bye
孤
to
独
her
な妃
own
に信頼のでき
mother
る次女がいるとい
figure.
うこと、それはどれほどの救いになるだろうか。
You didn't even stop her before.
その時、青年のような凛々しい妃の顔が母親の顔に見えた。
本民の一族と関係者の名簿です。
さらわれて売り飛ばされたと聞いていたが。
Oh, that's not gonna be okay. My head is spinning. I mean, I felt like I embarrassed myself, but now I'm feeling like I'm getting somewhere with it. But now I'm just like, oh, okay. Let's discuss the show before I get into Jinshi and Aduo's relationship. Okay, so the cleanup excuse was really to welcome a new high rank concubine that will replace Aduo for during the New Year's celebration. So that's going to be interesting. But before that actually comes into play, Mao Mao is talking to Fing Ming about the whole honey situation because she knows that the repeated mistakes of the baby dying isn't due to the powder because that was banned a long time ago because her dad was there and she understands this situation because she was probably back at home when her mom or someone that's related to her has put that powder on her face and knows that it's poison, possibly behind Mao Mao and her dad's back, which is kind of messed up if I think about it, because they already know it's poison, and she already knew it was poison from the first episode she discussed it. So she already knows that the powder was not the solution, and that was banned way before he got taken out of the area. But I'm surprised that the Emperor and Aduo didn't really explain that situation with the powder with Gyokyo and Liwa. Like, it's just really crazy to me. And also it talks a little bit about Dowager, and a duo both have given birth at the same time, and Dowager had a higher priority of getting the baby born before a duo, because at the time she was the empress, and because at the time the emperor that is of right now was a prince before, and Dowager's husband was the emperor at the time, so she had a higher priority. And her dad Luoman had to leave, and Mao Mao's father Luoman had to leave abruptly during that time with a duo's birth, which was crazy. And then that's when a duo couldn't really take care of the baby at the moment because she was so exhausted. So that's when Fingming has taken care of the child. And when she discovered what the honey can do to newborns that she didn't know of, the baby died from that. Because at first they accused Luoman for the babies dying so quickly, but it was really because of the honey situation. And honestly, with the way her dad thinks and the way of the situation, he's always backing off, not even explaining himself. So I get the feeling he understood what happened, especially because he teaches his daughter and always keeps it down low. Like, he even refuses money, and he lives in a crappy situation because he probably can make more money and live in a better area, but he chooses not to. So, yeah. Um I'm still curious about who Mao Mao's parents are now, because he was a former eunuch, meaning he can't give birth to a kid. So that is what is making me so what makes it so interesting. So I don't even know who Mao Mao's real parents are. Um but after a duo gave birth, that's when she lost her uterus, you know? I don't know why, but there you have it. Um but the problem was, the reason that Feng Ming was going after Li Shu is because of the honey situation, because she was actually close to a duo, and it made it seem like they weren't close, but it would make sense because the lady in waitings were lecturing the people that were taking care of Lady Li Shu, because a duo does see her as a daughter, and Li Shu does see a duo as a mother. And the reason they're trying to avoid Feng Ming is because she's the one pushing her away, because when she heard her story of how she almost died due to the honey situation, that's when Feng Ming has become scared. And I'm guessing she told some lady in waiting that was a duo, and that's when she came up with this plan to protect a duo from ever finding out about the situation. And that's when Fing Ming broke down, because she has been always trained her whole life to be like a lady in waiting due to her parents. And when she did, she was so amazed how she could take her ground and talk to the emperor, a prince before he became the actual emperor. But she thought how amazing it was, and how astonishing she was, and intelligent, and all of these things, that she wanted to protect her. And she was the most precious thing to her. But the moment she realized that she took her baby away from her, that's where she felt all that guilt. And that's when Mao Mao decided to tell her that she can take those two things of what she did and take it as one for her, which is why it's called reducing two things to one. Because the poison with Li Shu's situation, and then the poison with Li Shu and the cause of death for like the baby, she can confess her crimes. That way, Lady Aduo would never have to know about the baby that she killed with her own hands. It's sad because Feng Ming never meant for that to happen. She just didn't realize it would kill a baby. And at first, she wasn't planning to kill Li Shu because the moment the emperor died, that was together with Do Wager, she was pushed out of the rare palace. But then she came back because I guess the emperor had some plans with her in the future. So, yeah, go figure. But, yeah, that was really sad. Thankfully. Oh, yeah, and the flowers are poison because it has like aconite. Aconite? I don't know if I'm saying this right. Or acelia and nectar. Also, Aduo and Li Shu, the reason they were so close is because Li Shu's parents were taken away from her, and Aduo, her child, was taken away from her. And in a way, this was codependency towards each other, which is why they were so close. But when she got pushed out multiple times by Lady Bing Ming, she couldn't never see her. And it makes sense for Feng Ming to do that because she is the head of the lady in waiting, so she can give permission or not to Li Shu to go see Aduo. And it's hard for Li Shu in her possession to go after her. But yeah, I'm glad she did not do anything with that knife other than cut the bread. But thankfully, Mao Mao was smart because I was just like, okay, at this point, I think Jinshi should be here to protect Mao Mao because I don't know how else she's going to be protected. But luckily, she had stiff oil paper, like layers of it, to protect her in case she did get slashed. So she was thinking ahead. But I was still worried for her because I don't know how Mao Mao is when it comes to defending herself because she did get kidnapped. So, can you blame me? But yeah. Now, let's talk about Aduo, where she met her up in the what was it? She met her the rare palace brick castle wall, whatever, the wall, the column wall. Anyways, that was really sad because now we're realizing that the person that drowned into the water, she probably felt so much guilt that she committed suicide. Ping Ming got executed, and that was sad. And I felt like Genshi knew that she was part of the problem, and he knows how smart Mao Mao is and lets her handle. I feel like Genshi is really smart, okay? Because when he solves a situation or a case, he gives it to Mao Mao because Mao Mao is of a lower status and she can figure it out, but she's also not someone who's going to refill the situation. And he knew this from the first episode because she did not refill herself, tore one of her skirts to write down what they should avoid so that their baby doesn't get killed. So he already knew that he loves challenging her already and thinks she's interesting. And the more I know about Genshi with his intelligence, it is interesting how he does it. I kind of feel like it's like a Sherlock Holmes Dr. Watson, except it's like Genshi is somewhat of Sherlock Holmes and then Mao Mao is somewhat Dr. Watson. I kind of feel like it's a mix though, because he tends to stop her from her idiocy, but he also which is like a Dr. Watson thing, but then he also challenges her, which is kind of like a Sherlock Holmes situation. But then she has a complex, which is like a Dr. Sherlock thing. But then Dr. Watson also, like, he's a doctor, and that's what she is. So it's kind of cool how they mix those two characters into both of them. I'm actually enjoying it a lot. I do feel bad for a duo because I think she didn't want this situation to happen. And despite whatever she says to her servants and to her ladies in waitings, they would do anything to like protect her. And I think that's why a part of her held so long for this position that she was in, because she was a friend to the emperor, because she made it that way. And she never considered herself to be a concubine, but I think she wanted to get out as soon as possible, but I think she wanted to stay there for her lady in waitings. But then she never thought it would escalate to the point where they would hurt themselves. And this hurts her because she never meant for them to go as far as they did. And she probably doesn't even know about the honey situation, but she might, and probably kept quiet, or I don't know. I really don't know. But then when Mao Mao finished talking to her, she went down and fell on Jinshi, and he's still in her space. But at that time, I didn't. I did get a little annoyed that he didn't let go of her, but I understand why he held her, because he wanted some comfort, because I guess his real I feel like he must know that must be his mother, but I'm not entirely sure because I don't know his relationship with Doe Wager. But now that we've been told the swap situation, I do feel like he must know something about a duo being his mother, but I don't feel like he does. Like, yes, he's smart. Yes, he figures out situations a lot quicker than Mao Mao, and which is why he lets Mao Mao handles this situation, because he doesn't know what to do in his position, because he would have to execute them. So that's why I get the feeling he lets Mao Mao handles these type of situations, because down she's always keeping it down low, because she only has so much power that she can handle to take care of situations like these. But yeah, I I don't know if he even knows a duo is his mother. I get the feeling like they're close somehow. I don't know how. I know I know they're not in a relationship. That would be weird. Especially cuz I'm convinced that a duo knows for a fact that's her child. Especially because because a mother will know their kid immediately. So, plus Li Shu is so attached to Jinshi, but she's also attached to a duo, and it's probably for the same reason, because they look identical to each other. I just don't feel like Jinshi would know that's his mom, but I do feel like a duo would. I am confused though, because I have to think about this, because I feel like she did mention that a duo's son left her, which I don't really get that, because she didn't really clarify that he's dead. So keeping the secret, because she's starting to, like, as he got older, she started to realize that trying to keep that a secret from Dowager, because her son died, and she probably saw Jinshi and realized that's actually her son, but she's keeping this a secret because she doesn't want to hurt Dowager. Or, and it's also because Leo Man could be in big trouble, her dad, because of the situation he had to like take care of like these babies and give birth. I don't know why they have one. They need more doctors for situations like this, but they only have one for some reason. I don't know the context of the history for this time period, but I kind of figured they would want to have more than one, especially with situations where both ladies are pregnant at the same time, but one takes higher priority than the other, which is so annoying. But yeah, because Leo Man would be in big trouble. I think I I think it could be execution for the switch. But that didn't happen. And I kind of figured Leo Man took the blame for Fing Ming, knowing that the honey did kill the child. So I don't know what's going on. I know Dahl Wager is not dumb enough to know that's her son, because I know that's her son. But I thought when she said her son was sick, I thought that was because Genshi wasn't sick, because he actually was late to the garden party. But now I'm being told that that is her son. So I'm really really confused. Um but here's my theory overall. I believe a duo knows that's her son, but she won't say anything to Genshi. And I do feel like Doe Wager knows that's not her son. So I get the feeling, but Doe Wager is not doing anything. She's considering him son. So I don't know. I feel like there's something missing. Put it together. Like there's a missing piece. Because if Doe Wager knows that, she doesn't seem bothered by they don't seem bothered by each other. Maybe they do and they just don't show it, or maybe they have something to do the birth, but I don't feel like that is the case, and now I'm just really confused. This is a fun series because it is very complicated and I am wrapping my head around this. So, yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm sorry this is a long discussion, but I'm having fun with this. So I am going to be like this for probably a few more episodes, but I do feel like there's something missing, and I don't know what that missing piece is. Because I feel like Del Wager is not dumb enough to know that's her son, and I know a duo knows that's her son, but she won't tell Genshi. But I think she knows that Del Wager knows that's not her son either, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating because I want to know the missing piece of what is going on. Because at first I thought she didn't want to tell Del Wager because she feels the guilt of her child dying, but I don't know. I don't feel like that is the case. I feel like Del Wager and maybe Del Wager and a duo knows something, like knows it, but won't interact with it. So they leave it as it is. I don't know. The series is fun. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna be here forever. So, you lovely comrades, have a wonderful, beautiful, and an amazing day. Not kidding. Love you, comrades. Bye.